Welcome back! We have defeated the giant, or rather we haven't. I actually just waited until it fell asleep. And now he's snoring loudly. The giant is asleep, with a chest lying next to him. Indeed, there is a chest there, and if you looked closely while he was walking around, he was actually carrying that under his arm. I think if you look at him while he's still walking, the narrator will point that out, but I forgot to do that. And the question, of course, is, could this be the chest we're looking for? We know that it was actually stolen by a witch, but maybe the giant stole it from the witch, or maybe the witch gave it to the giant for safekeeping or something, I don't know. Nobody ever said this game made sense. So, let's see if we can get that chest without waking the giant up. Slowly, carefully, you take the chest without waking the giant. Sweet! Well, let's get out of here. Okay, we got ourselves a chest. Let's see if it's the chest we are looking for. This magic chest, one of the 3 lost treasures of Daventry, is always filled with gold coins. Indeed it is. Can we open it? You are dazzled by the countless supply of gold coins spilling from the magic chest. You quickly close the chest. Okay, now it's time to go back down. Now we could go back down via the beanstalk, which is slightly more complicated, because of course you have to climb down safely again. But it is the shortest route. I'm actually going to take the slightly easier but also longer path through the caves. And this is the path you would use if you had guessed the gnome's name wrong. Then you'd use the key he gave you to open the door in the mountain, and you'd use this path to go up. And then you'd also have to use the path to go down, of course, because there'd be no beanstalk. Since we do have the beanstalk, we have a choice to either go down this way or via the beanstalk. And since I want to show this place, I'm going to walk down this way. The Suspended Walkway seems to wind forever down into the very bowels of the mountain. Indeed. Is this walkway strong enough for us? The walkway is made from large wooden planks attached firmly to the cave's walls and floor and suspended from the ceiling. Oh, I don't know, it looks a bit rickety to me, but I guess it's strong enough. Do be careful, you can fall off, which is not good for your health. Whoops! I guess whoever writes the death messages was having a bad day that day. Didn't feel like writing a more complicated death message. So yeah, this is another agility test. One of many in the King's Quest games. This is not even the worst one. No, the worst one for my money would have to be the mountain path in King's Quest 3. Oh, great. Suddenly, a small dwarf runs out of the shadows and approaches you. The sneaky little dwarf caught you by surprise. Did he steal anything from you? Yes, he did steal something. I'm not entirely sure what. He stole the magic mirror. That's not fun. Which means, of course, that now the game cannot be finished because we lost the magic mirror and we cannot recover that. That is one of the disadvantages of going down this way. That can happen, and if I'm not mistaken, it will happen again. So I'm gonna try that again. And then save here, so I don't have to walk that distance again if it happens. Yes, there we go. Now you might think we're stuck here. No, we can't get past here. So you'd have to turn back and go down via the beanstalk. But of course, if you didn't use the beanstalk, you might still have this problem. And that means there must be a way to get past here, because otherwise the game would be unwinnable. The dwarf doesn't always show up, by the way, and I guess that if we went off this screen and then came back, he might not show up again, so that's one way you might deal with it. However, we still have a little bit of invisibility left, which you can also use to get past the dwarf. You place the shimmering ring upon your finger. Rub the ring. As you rub the shimmering ring, you turn invisible. Now we're in outline again. And now we can get past here without any dwarves bothering us. Let's take the ring off again, in case we need it later. You remove the shimmering ring from your finger. This is why it's important not to wear out the ring before you're sure you're done with it. Which, if you're playing the game for the first time, you'll never be sure of until you actually finish the game, I guess. Oh, by the way, the way I keep reusing the same save game over and over is not something I would ever recommend doing in any Sierra game, particularly not a King's Quest game, because they have so many unwinnable states. Never ever override a save game in a Sierra game, unless you already know the game like I do in this case. Because I know exactly what you can do to make the game unwinnable, and so I know how to avoid all of those things. Path is a little bit easier here, because you can't fall off on all sides. This is a long route. I said it was longer than the beanstalk. It would be nice if we happened to find a magical shield somewhere lying around on this path. Save a lot of trouble. Somehow I doubt it. Oh, this place is pretty eerie, I think, especially with the music. Pretty nicely done for the remake version. Those of you who've played the VGA remake from HD Interactive might know that, or might notice that a lot of the graphics in that version are based on this version rather than on the original. They're very similar in terms of design style and layout. Okay, we made it down, so I guess technically there's no chance of death anymore, but I'm still just reusing the same save game. You can see here's the door. You've come from deep inside the mountain. There's a door here. That might be a problem, because we don't have the key. This is a heavy oaken door set into the side of the cave. Let's see. Oh, the door just disappears. Well, that's convenient, I guess. Curiously, a large door has been built into the steep mountainside. Yeah, so now we know where it goes, so we can't go back in. If we want to go back up to the land of the giants, you can, of course, go back up the beanstalk, but we don't need to. Let's see, we are now there. I'm going to head left, or west, or whatever you want to call it. We have one more magical treasure left, and there's only one location, basically, that we haven't explored yet, which is the area around inside the river that we couldn't reach because there was no bridge. So how might you get there, you wonder? Well, this is something, well, you either already know about it, or you use a walkthrough or something, or a hint book, or you can only discover it by accident, because there are no hints. So all you can do is wander around and find out just because you happen upon it. It happens in one particular screen, which is here, and it usually takes me like 27 billion tries to make this. We'll see, though. Oh, I nearly got it. This is, I think, the best place to stand. Yes, there is a large bird that shows up. Are you gonna come back? Or do we have to go off the screen? And he can take us to the inside of the river. You know, that one plan that I talked about that was too ridiculous to be true? Turns out it is true. Ah, that was not even close. Got him! That was pretty quick. I think in the remake, this bird, not sure if it's an eagle or condor or something, only shows up after you've collected the first 2 treasures. In the original version, I think it would show up any time. And now where are we? Definitely a location we haven't been before. And there's a hole in the ground here. There's a hole in this part of the meadow. And you do not want to go down it yet, because there is something we need up here. And if you go down... sorry, I don't think you can actually go back up. So let's scout around the area here first. Well, it looks like we can't go east. So let's check south. Hey, we've been here before. Of course we were on the other side of the river. That confirms that we are, in fact, now on the bit between the river that we couldn't get to before. As I said, well, since it's the only place in the game we haven't explored yet, my money's on the magic shield being around here somewhere. Oh, and now we're here on this side of the river where that mushroom is that we saw before. There's a large mushroom in the meadow next to the river. This is a small aromatic mushroom. Can we get the mushroom? I guess so. This is a small, unusual looking mushroom. I wonder... I'm tiny! Oh, it doesn't last long. And now we're out of the mushroom, which is not a good thing. But at least we know what it does now. It makes us tiny. I guess it's a mushroom from Alice in Wonderland or something. And now, armed with this mushroom, we can fall down here. But we'll do that in the next video.